Today we are going to have a seminar on Middle East education and job fair 2020. And I want to thank a few people to make this even possible. And these are my sweet panelists, the technical team, Berkeley Middle East Holding in Middle East, Berkeleyme Global in UK, Berkeley, California in US, and training and consultancy divisions. They really work hard to bring all this content and the people on board so they can explain all this beautiful information to the candidates. There are countries like Pakistan, India, ACCA is really speaks its own language. The members are growing, and every single individual who goes in accounts, of course, get through these qualifications. I can see Ahmed is with us. Ahmed, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Ahmed Power. Okay, and good evening, Mr. Moosa. Thanks a lot for this opportunity to be on this platform. Okay, I'm really thankful to you, that I have this opportunity to show everyone how good a qualification in ACCA is. So I'm in.
So Ahmed,
I live in Dubai.
your qualifications are really dynamic. Whenever I see you, your hard efforts really comes in my head, and as I know you personally since long, so I really see your positive attitude, your progress, and you in Dubai, especially like because you're based in Dubai, and so you have totally transformed yourself into a real professional who can understand the international language, living with all these multinational people. So you are a chartered accountant from England and Wales, right? And
Yes.
yeah, please go ahead with
Yes.
your introduction.
Currently, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm an ICW, and I have to give credit to ACCA for that as well because it was because of ACCA. I'm an FCCA, UACA, and obviously BSc honors in applied accounting. So I've completed all these degrees simultaneously while I was doing ACCA. And Mr. Musa has been very kind, obviously, because you are one of the person who was there in all of my achievements. Because if there was any
Your voice, yeah.
hello, can
Your
you hear
last
me?
sentence couldn't hear. Yeah, so you
Oh,
can repeat the last
yes,
sentence.
yes. So I was just saying that if I needed any guidance, Berkeley's was already there because I started off as a student and then went on to become a trainer here. So that's something that you have been always a very good guide in this. So
And that's great. Like, let me introduce you with the other panelist, and then we will continue the discussion. So Umair Aslam is with us. Umair, can you introduce yourself, please?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Berkeley Middle East, and thank you, Dr. Musa Sheikh, for giving me this opportunity to present. I am Umair Aslam, and I am ACCA qualified. I am ICW also, just case studies pending, and pursuing for CMA now. I am financial controller in one of big oil and gas business in Saudi Arabia, which is named as Sawafi Borates. And even though I also got CPA Pakistan recently, and since 1 year I am pursuing for this role. So this is the introduction.
That's great. So today we will be focusing more about ACCA, that how ACCA works, and what are the subjects, and what is the difference you feel before ACCA and after ACCA, and where you are right now. Does ACCA help you into as a qualification? So let's start. Both of you should respond to this question, please.
So I'll start if Mr. Umair allows me. Can I start, Mr. Umair?
Please.
Okay.
Please continue.
So I'll take that. I have a small presentation I would like to share. Okay,
Mm,
it is a summary of the whole ACCA. Okay, which I believe right now is the most, in my word, is the most forward-thinking accounting body. Because with ACCA, the best trait that comes with it does not make you a specific accountant or a specific internal auditor. It makes it is a whole package in itself. Like you get an idea of everything that is out there. You get an idea of financial management, you get an idea of financial the general management, you get an idea of ethics, internal audits. So technically, if there is anything in the accounting profession, by in ACCA you know that okay what there is, and you have an idea. And the best part that comes along with it is that ACCA have a lot of tie-ups with other professional bodies. So once you're in ACCA, you also get really good benefits from those bodies as well. So I'll start with a general idea of what the papers are, and then in the end, I will tell you about how exactly other bodies like Oxford Brookes University and even AEW helps out to become, and you can also get more degrees because of ACCA. The best part about ACCA is that anyone from school level to CEO level can do it. So ACCA has created opportunity for anyone, that the whole body makes it so easy for anyone in any area of the professional level to complete this degree and upgrade themselves. Obviously there are some certain traits that you have to be if you're on a certain level, like if you're of certain age, you have to start. Like if you're over 16 years of age, you have to come from an FIA route. And there are some minimum requirements, like you have to have 2 A levels, 3 GCSEs, or and you have to make sure that your English and mathematics is done. Other, if you're in your level where you have already completed your master degree, so you can also do ACCA following that. And in that area you can get some exemptions as well, from that can range from like specific professional degree like CIMA. Like ACCA has a very good tie up with CIMA, and you can be exempted. It depends on where you are in that degree, from 3 to 9 papers completely. So that is the eligibility that anyone can do. Again, as I've already mentioned, that anyone from a school level to the CEO level can do it. Who can actually do ACCA? School level. In my presentation, if I've made it very simple, that from every level where you start, from the point where you leave school till the level, like there are a lot of CEOs who in the turn of events, when they were managing their businesses, they couldn't do any of the professional degree, and now when they have reached a certain level or they want to upgrade themselves, they now want to do ACCA as well. So they can also go for ACCA. Even a CEO and CFO level person can do ACCA. Even when I was in Berkeley's and I used to study as well before being a trainer, I had a lot of people who were not only students but working on a very good positions, and they were going for ACCA because they wanted to upgrade themselves. They wanted to make feel confident about themselves, that okay, they have reached a certain level and they need to think out of the box where this degree will help. Because the ACCA is not about just passing papers. It tempts you, it actually pushes you to think out of the box for solutions that can actually help for you to grow, for your company to grow and grow further. So that's what ACCA is about. Going forward, so I'll move to the course line. How many papers? How to go forward? Pre 2018, the papers were 14, and the whole point was the ACCA keeps on changing their subject level. The best part about ACCA, the management of ACCA, is that they evolve according to the whole environment, which I personally feel that in our accounting whole profession, we do not have a lot of evolution. But the ACCA body keeps on changing itself according to the environment, according to the situation of the world. Pre 2018, we had like 14 papers. Two of the papers were merged, and now, as of now, we have 13 papers and an ethics module. How they have made the papers? When you start ACCA, they make sure that they, maintain your knowledge. They increase your knowledge of a certain level. So that's why in the beginning, it's not about application. It's just to increase your knowledge of accounting body, of how accounting is applied in business. Like the first paper is about accountant in business, how an accountant will feel if he is in a business, what entries does he need to make, how to do accounting journal entries. And this is supported by management accounting and financial accounting. As you know, I mentioned before that ACCA is not about a certain area. It actually grasps, it covers all the areas of accounts in a degree. So, they will not only discuss financial accounting with you, they will discuss management accounting, and then they will cover the area of how business is run. What is the shareholder? What is everything about how everything is managed? So the first area is about knowledge. And once you've crossed that area, then it develops your skills. That is the second area where F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, and F9 comes. Now, these are all the area that develops your skills in different area of businesses that will help you understand the business and not only reach a level of just a general accountant, but at a certain CFO level where you make decisions. You're the person who helped the business grow. It teaches you, like the paper F4 teaches you about law, so you can handle the situation of legal matters in your business tomorrow. Because if you have and it only teaches you corporate law and business law, how to handle issues, how to handle cases, what is a contract. So the F4 paper is about business law. Then comes how to enhance your performance of the business. F5 is about that. Along with that, it teaches you about taxation. And the good part about ACCA is that all the taxes, they have all the variants. Like if you're in different countries, Pakistani, the most common variant is obviously UK because they apply that one. But then, it depends on you if you want to go for a variant of your own country, because ACCA is such an international degree that it allows you to go everywhere else as well. Then, now this area of the whole skill level enhances your knowledge level to a scale where after giving you knowledge, it makes you skillful enough to perform those entries. So, just an upgrade of the old paper, F2 and F3. It starts with F7 and F8, where financial reporting and audit comes up. And, financial management is also a part of the same upgrade of management accounting. That's how it is done. Next part, it introduces audit, which is a very, very, very important part of business. Now in audit, you will see different areas, different solutions, like, how to look at accounts, how to become an auditor, how to look into areas that critically. And, also following this knowledge, you can also go for CIA that we were just discussing before, which actually can enhance your specific degree. So, if you already have read audit and assurances and all these areas in this part, it will also help you in your degree for CIA if you want to pursue that area as a profession. The next part, once all these skills are developed, okay, it goes into application. That is an area that actually needs your full concentration. This is the area that enhances your skills and forces you to apply it in business level, in actually your whole life. Where the first paper, P1 and P3 used to be in the old scheme that was pre-2018. It was about how the business analysis, Boston Group, BCG metrics, and how if you're managing your own business, You need to know about certain areas like how the business is run, how corporate world operates, because you are, as a CFO, you are a part of that world, and you are going to be the one who is going to, be the driving force of increasing that business, be the driving force to operate that business and make
Following this, obviously, this is now the application level. What happens afterwards is now there is P2 corporate reporting. Now, this is in a complete advanced level of the same financial accounting that we have been starting, and that ACCA is developing from the beginning. So in this level, the papers are not about whether they want to test your skills. They've already done that in the old papers. In this area, they are going to give you scenarios. They're going to give you actual business life situations where they will test your skills. They will test you how you, at a CFO level, will answer those questions. And even Mr. Moosa was the one who first told me that. And at this level, if you make a simple general error and you have completed the whole paper, you have passed the whole paper, and if the error is so minimum, or it is an error, a type of an error that even a general accountant will never make, they will just fail you, because they do not expect any person, any professional, to make such a little error at this level. So this is how they forces you to upgrade yourself and operate yourself in a CFO position. Then at this level, your skills are enhanced, you are professional enough to apply your knowledge. Now ACCA gives you an option to choose your path, because they've given you all the general knowledge of all the accounting areas. Now you can choose your path to either go towards taxation and audit, performance management, and financial management, that can further go to CFA, that we have already discussed here. So that is the best part about ACCA, that they built a base of you, and then they now give you an option that wherever you feel you can go. So it's not like if you've only read financial management, you're not going to know about taxation or audit. You already have a general idea of that. So the last paper concentrate completely on making you a professional on the area that you feel your expertise will be more valuable, where your interest is, and where you'll feel more challenged to work on. You have an option of to choose 2 out of these 4, and then you can choose either. What I did was I went for P5 and P7, because audit was something that I still like to do. I like criticizing a lot of businesses, maybe because of that. So I like to see business critically, because I want to, although it makes me a lot of enemies, but still, that's how life of an auditor is, to see the finance from a critical point of view, from a prudent point of view, to ensure that you look at everything in a way to ensure that for a shareholder, if you're doing an audit, you make sure that the accounts are completely true and fair.
You have explained the structure very nicely. Let's move forward and have some conversation. So, Umair, what is your experience about ACCA? How hard it was? What would be your strategies to manage this, and what value you feel it brought in you?
Thank you very much. I think Dr. Musa Ahmed has already explained subject-wise course content, so I will not go in that detail much. Already he has discussed. So I would just highlight a few, you can say, key highlights of ACCA, how it is equipped with all stuff you need as a financial leader, as a finance manager, finance director. You need to have all over the world, this is one of the worldwide recognized qualification. We normally term it as a global passport. It's recognized all over the world. All multinationals are seeking for professionals who know international financial reporting standards. They know international taxation and laws. They know international financial management. So this is the degree which covers all these areas. So multinationals always prefer to hire ACCAs, and they really appreciate their skills, the knowledge and abilities they have gone over all the study. So it's a comprehensive study. I believe it's full-time study. It should not be taken part way. I believe students who are willing to take this as a career, they should first complete the education and then practically join full career. And I believe in the Middle East market, in Africa and Asian market, and even Europe, Canada, and UK, even if you are ACCA qualified and have the right experience, you really don't need another qualification on top of that. You can excel, you can really grow in your career, and you have all abilities and knowledge which is required to perform your duties. So I would just go one step forward on top of professional qualification. I will go towards industry demand and how they fulfill practically in the industry their demands being ACCA. So, normally industries are expecting from financial managers to have done with their monthly reporting, budgeting, planning, compliance, and taxation laws, and they are concerned with audit and all this governance issues. So I believe ACCAs are very well equipped with all this stuff. I would advise new upcomers just be prepared with knowledge is only the one step. So there is one misconception. We really need to guide our community, our people, our newcomers in the field. It's not only ACCA that will give you everything. Even it's not only experience which will give you everything. Rest of the world, the people, there is a big range between professionals with the very, very limited salary packages and the guys who are really on top of industry and top of all qualifications being only ACCA. So it's a package, it's a qualification, it's an experience. Then on top of that, there are other skill set which you really need to adopt is like you really need to focus on your networking. This is something which people are missing, and mostly people try to be bookwormers or what you say, just focus on study, and they seek all their life achievements from the book. So which is not the case in practical life. In the industry, you really need to be a networking guy. You should have the people in your circle, and really the circle who can really help you solve your organizational problems, and they can help your business grow effectively. So you have to go with the team. As a guy, you can never be a successful. No one is expert in all fields. You should have the guys in ERP, you should have the guys in taxation, you have guys in audit. So it's you, how you effectively manage your network, and you learn from them and apply that learning to your role, what people are seeking for. This is the really key tips people need to understand. Plus, on top of that is communication. Communication is really not about making the speeches. Communication is about really handling effectively all your stakeholders. So stakeholders are internal stakeholders and stakeholders are external stakeholders. Within the organization, there are departments like HR, supply chain. You always have to act as a support function. You always have to act as the solution provider for the business, not as a stopper for their payments, not as a stopper for their work. So you really need to build a relation, as you normally use the word, which is giving the work a synergetic position for the organization. And it really creates an environment where everybody love finance guys, and they really would love to take advice from them. And then you can actively help them to save costs. You can actively help them to make your industry as better as compared to competitors by controlling the stuff, managing your working capital, all this stuff. If you are not effectively managing your communication with other departments, they will hate you. They will not tell you anything. They will steal the information. And the guy who is not having right skills to have lovely relationship with all the guys, and they cannot trust the confidence of other departments, they will never give you your inside information. So your organization will not be in a fruitful mode. On top of that, there are external stakeholders. There are bankers involved. There are legislators involved. There are auditors, taxation consultants. So the personality should be like he can handle a very win-win situation with everybody, and you can win your organization as compared to other, as a leader, as a manager. So it's ACCA is not only an accounting, not only a reporting function, it's accounting, reporting, financial function. Along with that, it's a management. Ultimately, it's a leadership function. So I would really request all participants and people who are part of this conversation to please really focus on qualification as explained by Mr. Ahmed. Content wise, he has very well explained, but I didn't explain qualification. That is fine. But on top of that, there is 4 to 5 years. Along with that, there is networking with relevant, skilled industry experts from all functions. Along with that, internal, within department, within the organization and outside the organization, a really effective and positive and healthy synergetic communication, which can really create the organization into a culture, create the organization into a competition winning industry. And I believe so, being an ACCA, like I am practically, I will tell you my story. I started my career, it took 13 months for me to find a internship. So after 13 months of my ACCA completion, I got internship in KPMG. After that, it was a very struggling phase for 2 to 3 years. But later on, we learned a lot. We learned from the peers, as I explained in all my previous conversation. And Alhamdulillah, it's really a success story now. And I can't say there is no potential in the market. There is a big potential, but the candidates lack many things. They lack focus, they lack direction. They are not very well understood for the purpose, what businessman is looking for, what industry is looking for. They're just doing accounting, some is doing audit, some is doing, so it's not that, it's a broader than that. If you want to be an accountant, it's okay. But if you want to be a leader, if you want to be a manager, you have to equip yourself with all this stuff. I believe, so candidates should bear in mind, along with qualification, there is 4 to 5 years plus, there is really a couple of skill sets they need to carry on with themselves. And really it can create a better world for everybody. And it can create a great business environment, and your company will be a very great sport for your company, I believe, as an ACC, as a business manager, as a financial manager. So this is my advice on practical point of view.
That's great. I think the listener will have a great value out of your discussion. So let's move to Ahmed. Ahmed, being an ACCA, what you feel that what ACCA brought in your life, in your professional skills, and what you get with ACCA, which you cannot get without it?
This was that's a very nice question, actually. Yeah, very. What I believe ACCA, I'll just try to put it out in one sentence. What my thinking is that from ACCA, when I started ACCA, I was an accountant, and this is the degree that turned me from an accountant to a manager, or at a level where I can actually think of myself as, looking into a CFO position. Because my colleague, Mr. Umair, has given some really excellent points that obviously, that ACCA is not about only, being a bookworm or just passing the papers. And that is the best thing about this degree, is that, when you come to the professional level, like the final level, you cannot pass any of the paper unless you know how to apply that knowledge into the scenarios. And this is what ACCA has given me, to go into the scenarios, answer those questions. Okay, and the best part, I actually, so how ACCA has turned me is that it has enhanced my confidence. Obviously, the communication skills and all these networking skills are some of the skills that we still, as an ACCA, lack, because these are some of the skills that, but what I believe is that because ACCA requires, in order to become an FCCA or a member, you should have experience. And, that is the area where you get an exposure to a lot of networking, a lot of other areas where you can, actually enhance those skills. So, in just to summarize everything, my thinking is that ACCA has given me I would say a bird eye view, okay, of the whole situation. Right now, if I look at any of the situation, I do not look at it as a situation, like one situation at a time. I look at it as a whole, like where the whole, this piece, I look at the whole puzzle rather than just a piece. how to solve that. So this is the perspective that ACCA has given me, and this is what my experience because of ACCA, because I got my job because of ACCA only. I was lucky enough that before I had even passed the final exam, I got the job, and I got promoted along once I started passing my examination, because my manager and everyone was looking at, they were more interested that, once I complete the degree, then they were ACCA and they were ICW, so they knew actually that how a complete degree is different to what a partial degree is. So yes, I'll just summarize it rather than scattering the whole thing. That overall ACCA has given me confidence, a way to look at things in a broader perspective from
Oh, your mic got muted. Can you unmute this, please?
I don't know, connected to the airports or something. It
Yeah,
gets.
it still seems like Bluetooth issue. Yeah, true.
Yes, I think so. I'm sorry. My apologies. So my simple thinking is that hold on. So my simple thinking is that ACCA has increased the whole prospect into my view, my whole communication level. It has actually upped my whole game in the whole scenario. I've again coming to the same statement that it has actually made me from an accountant to a CFO or a manager level. That's the simple statement that explains a lot.
That's
Okay.
great. So I think we are almost in the end. So let me take your closing remarks and your recommendation for the youth, and then we will close the formal session. So we'll start with Umair, please.
Thank you, Dr. Musa. So my remarks with youth are really qualification-wise. People know very well. No need of elaborating ACCA. They know almost most of the people know. I suggest something which is not being taught in institutions is something called attitude, and something called positivity, and something called resilience. So really, youth is, some of the people are lacking all this stuff, and that's why they are seeing negativity, lack of opportunities, lack of jobs. This is all because of that. If someone is really hardworking, he knows his stuff, he is dedicated, he is committed to deliver excellence, and he has high missions with positive attitude to survive and thrive in every situation. And there is no way, Dr. Musa, that somebody can stop him to really grow in a career and in a leadership role. So I suggest people study hard, work hard with the positive and decent attitude. Success will follow you. That's it.
That's great. So yes, the same thing, Ahmed.
Just as a closing remarks, I think actually, Umair has actually, my dear colleague Umair has actually made really good points, because the good part in his comments is that he wants ACCA member as a whole to look into the things that currently a lot of our field is facing. That, once we qualify, the attitude is not the same as it should be. Okay. But as a closure remark, I would personally say that ACCA has done great for me, and any of the ACCA that I've seen along, okay, they have actually found a good place in the whole area. Like, it's not about Middle East. Middle East, I've seen a lot of people actually going there. I've seen people in Canada because of the tie-ups ACCA have with CPA, ICAW, CPA Australia, BSc honors. Like, it actually helps you in every other way. So as a closure remarks, I still vouch for this degree that, this is the degree that students should pursue. And especially in those areas, those students who think that right now they need to upgrade themselves and they cannot go anywhere. The best part about ACCA is that you do not need to be qualified. You can not have a lot of degrees or anything at all, and you can start from scratch. ACCA trusts something in their own setup that you will not pass unless you upgrade yourself to a certain level to reach a professional level. Okay?
Oh, your mic get mute.
Yes. Okay. So that is my general remarks. that the final closure that ACCA itself is a very great degree. The best trade in ACCA is the side trades like BSc Honors, ICAW, the ability to upgrade yourself. These are the things that I personally vouch for. This is something that I want students to go for. Because this is something that students should go for. Because it actually increases, enhances you. Obviously, in all of the professional degree, in all of the profession, what Mr. Omer has actually said, that communication, networking, you cannot survive without them. But you also need to have that skill set to actually network with somebody. You need to have that certain skill set to make yourself confident enough that you can actually discuss this stuff with your colleague to do the networking. And ACC already gives you that. That is my final remarks on this one. And we should always
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you very much for taking out your time today. I know you are very busy and we catch you out of something. And you are based in Dubai, so anyone can approach you on LinkedIn. I know you are a kind person and you always help a lot of people. So, and same for Umair is in Saudi Arabia. So, any assistance you need from these two fine quality gentlemen, they are always available for the audience.